we are going to learn the other indeterminate forms. So, not definitely known in advance is indeterminate form, as we discussed in the video earlier. So now we are going to learn the values which are tending to 0. I hope you have a pretty clear idea about tending to 0 and equals to 0. If not, I am going to explain. If you take a number line, so the values, this is exactly 0. This particular point is exactly 0, though the point also is having a dimension to explain. The values which are nearby 0, as close as possible, are tending to 0. For example, say if I take 1 by 10, 1 by 100, 1 by 1000, say 1 by 10,000, and so on. The values which we take as close as 0 is tending to 0. This is represent the tends to 0. It tends to 0. And if I take the point as exactly 0, so this is equals to 0. So the indeterminate form, we talk about for tending to 0. For exactly 0, obviously it's a definite value will be there. So we have the operations plus, then minus, then into, then divide. Let us talk about all the operation taking the numbers tending to 0. So first thing, what we are adding 2 tending to 0, means 2 very small number, and let us check whether it's an indeterminate form or not. Means the result is definitely known in advance or not. For example, if I take a smaller number, say 1 by 10, and add with another smaller number, it comes to 2 by 10. Further, still it's, if I take 1 by 100 plus 1 by 100, it is 2 by 100. So in context to this tending to 0, we can tell the values are nearby 0, though it's far away from 1 by 100. Now if I take a very small value, say 10 to the power 10, it's pretty close to 0 on a number line. And if I take another this, can we estimate and tell that yes, the value is closer to 0. So further, if I take 1 by 10 to the power say 1000, as this is a very small number and closer to 0, divided by 1 by 10 to the power 1000, this is also pretty close to 0. So this also will be close to 0. So the result is, if I add 2 small, very small number which is tending towards 0, the result also will be tending to 0. So this is not an indeterminate form. We are well ahead able to tell the result of this. So it's not an indeterminate form. If I put it in the box, the result, as the result is known well in advance. Okay, so two smaller numbers add up to again a smaller number. So now let us see if I can, what will happen to subtraction if I take a tending to 0, a very small number, and I'm putting in bracket again tending to 0, a smaller number. So, and if we subtract, what may happen? Say both zeros may not be same, as I discussed earlier. Say one of them may be 2 by 10 to the power 100. It's pretty close to 0, divided, or you can take 1000 divided by 1 by 10 to the power 1000. So if I subtract it, you get a result 1 by 10 to the power 1000. This is also tending to 0. This is also tending to 0. So if one of them is tending to 0, another tending to 0, and if you subtract it, the result is well known in advance. You can take another examples also, but this is also not an indeterminate form because the result is well known to us. Now what about tending to 0? There is a number into tending to 0. We can take two different numbers which are closer to 0. Say if I take 2 divided by 10 to the power 1000 into say 1 divided by 10 to the power 10,000. This means 40. If I multiply, the numerator will be 2 and the denominator, that's very interesting. How many zeros will come? We all know when the base is same, the exponent or the power, that is, this gets added. So 10,000 plus 1,000 is not 20,000, it's 11,000. So it is 10 to the power 11,000. So the base becomes bigger than the previous two numbers. So this is closer than 0, closer to 0 than compared to these two numbers. So here also the result is definitely known to us. If you multiply two smaller numbers, the result will be always tending to 0. This also will be, though it is smaller than these two numbers, but the result is known. So if I put this into bracket, this is also not an indeterminate form. So we already completed addition, subtraction, multiplication. All the three are not indeterminate form because the results are known to us as tending to 0. Now check out for the division. So I write like this, tending to 0 divided by tending to 0. So let us choose two number and try to get the answer, say something either 2. Can I choose two numbers which are different and the result will be 2? Yes, why not? Let us take an example of 2 divided by 10 to the power 1000. Or you can choose a bigger number. I chose 1 lakh, and whole divided by, keeping in mind that answer should be 2, and this is a smaller number. If you plot in the number line, it's a very small number. And can I choose a denominator, a fraction, and put 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 lakh power, and put it in the close. So the answer will be 2. So can the answer be 3? Yes, why not? If I choose that is 3 by 100, sorry, 3 by 10 to the power 1 lakh, I put power 5 divided by 1 by 10 to the power 5. If both get cancelled, answer is 3. So we got the answer also to be 3. So we got 2, we got 3. Let us check out for other values. Now, can the answer be 1? Yes, why not? Because if you choose a number, numerator and denominator both are same, the number will be same and very close values. Can the answer be 0? Let us check this part of it. So so the format is tending to 0 divided by tending to 0. This means a number should be in the form of very small and closer to 0, but the result should be equal to 0. So I choose a number 1 divided by 10 to the power 5, or I can choose 50,000, 80,000, 1 lakh divided by, I chose a simpler value, divided by 10 to the power 4. Why I chose like this? If you simplify this, it is 1 by 10 raised to the power 5, and this goes up, so it will be 10 to the power 4. So if I cancel it, you get 0.1 by 10. I should have preferred to write 1 by 10, so which is 0.1, close to 0, but if you want to understand better, I choose another number. I'll erase this and I'll choose another number which is smaller than 0.1. What I'll do, I'll take 1 10 to the power 5. The power, the raised power is 10 to the power 5. That is, power is 1 lakh. And 1 divided by 1 by 10 to the power 4. Can you analyze? I am choosing the numerator smaller than the denominator. So if you increase the denominator, the numerator is decreasing and the numerator is decreasing and the denominator is increasing. So as the value increases, it will be tending to 0. I repeat, by calculation, if I take 1 by 10 to the power 5, 10 to the power 10 to the power 5, and this goes to the numerator, so it is 10 to the power 10 to the power 4. So further, if I calculate it, base remains same, so the power gets subtracted. So if you further calculate it and take 10 to the power 4 common out of it, so I hope all of you understand. Here 10 minus 1 will be there, so it is 1 divided by 10 minus 1 is 9, and there are 4 zeros of it, so it will be 90,000. So it's a pretty small number. So if you see, this is also tending to 0. So now concluding that tending to 0, by tending to 0, we got the answer to be 1, 2, 0. We can get, depending upon the ratio of these two numbers, we can get any two ratio of as any number depending upon the values. If I put it in the box, This is an indeterminate form. The result is not known definitely in advance. The result is not known definitely in advance, so it's an indeterminate form.